Good evening, visitors. Welcome to the Australian War Memorial's Last Post ceremony. My name is Emily Hiles, and joining us today from the Royal Australian Air Force is Corporal Pablo Fuenzalida. This evening, we're honoured to acknowledge Ms. Cherie Meacham, Director, National Army Museum, Te Matatoa, New Zealand, accompanied by Ms. Nicola Bennett, Marketing and Social Media Manager. We warmly welcome Group Captain Bruce Chandler, retired, representing the Air Force Association of Australia. We welcome the veterans who have served, those that are still serving, and the families that love and support them. The live stream of this ceremony is made possible by the Returned and Services League of Australia and the RSL and Services Clubs Association. We welcome members who are watching the broadcast of this ceremony across Australia. During this evening's ceremony, wreaths will be laid at the base of the pool of reflection by visitors to the memorial and students on behalf of the Defence Work Experience Indigenous Youth Program from Lightning Ridge, New South Wales. If you're able, please stand and join in singing the National Anthem.
Australians, oh, let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is but by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty, rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains, then let us sing, advance Australia fair.
The Australian War Memorial was the vision of Charles Bean, Australia's First World War official historian. Bean landed with the Australian troops on Gallipoli and stayed with them at the front through to the end of the war. The idea of this national memorial and museum came to him at Pozières, France, in the depths of the bloody fighting of 1916. Bean's idea was that this would be a place where family and friends could mourn loved ones buried in faraway places. It would also be a place that could help all Australians understand what these men and women had endured and what they had done for us. Bean's vision, to which we remain true, is best expressed as inscribed in the entrance to the memorial's galleries. Here is their spirit, in the heart of the land they loved. And here we guard the record which they themselves made. Tonight, we'll read the story behind just one of those on the Roll of Honour, which lists the names of more than 103,000 men and women who have given their lives for us in war and on operations for more than a century. But first, we present a lament. Flowers of the forest, wreaths and floral tributes will now be laid at the base of the pool of reflection.
Today we remember and pay tribute to Sergeant Leo Malachi McCormack. Leo McCormack was born on the 4th of August 1919 in Gympie, Queensland. He was one of 3 children born to Martin McCormack, a railway engine driver, and his wife Edith. Leo received his early education at Colonial Catholic School and later at Christian Brothers College. After leaving school, he began studying at the Teachers Training College. Leo McCormack left a promising career to enlist in the Royal Australian Air Force on the 2nd of February 1941. He undertook elementary training at Archerfield in August 1941, then embarked for Canada, heading for the Royal Canadian Air Force Base at Edmonton, Alberta, to train in observation and navigation. As part of the Empire Air Training Scheme, he was one of the almost 27,500 RAF pilots, navigators, wireless operators, air gunners and flight engineers who joined squadrons based in Britain throughout the course of the war. He gained his wings on the 3rd of January 1942 and embarked for England shortly after. After further training at the Royal Air Force Charter Hall Base, he joined No. 456 Squadron in August 1942. Equipped with Bristol Beaufighters, the squadron formed part of 9 Group of Fighter Command. As a RAF's only dedicated night fighter squadron, No. 456 was responsible for locating and attacking German bombers in Britain's night skies. McCormack's role as a navigator was essential to the squadron's ability to stop enemy bombers. On the 1st of November 1942, McCormack took off on a night training flight with his pilot, Flying Officer Douglas McGregor. Detailed to undertake ground-controlled intercept practice, they were joined by another aircraft from the squadron to act as a target for the exercise. Over the Irish Sea, soon after takeoff, a large electrical storm began closing in. When the pilot of the target aircraft arrived back at base, he did so without McCormack or McGregor, who had failed to return. Immediately, aircraft and ships were sent out to search for the pair, but nothing was found. McCormack and his pilot remained missing until February 1943, when they were officially presumed dead. The squadron believed that McCormack's Beaufighter had sustained storm damage, causing the aircraft to crash into the sea. Sometime after receiving official news of their son's death, McCormack's parents received a letter from him forwarded by one of his friends. Dear home, it may be that I will not come back some night from the operations which are our part in the scheme of things. The possibility is always there, and while I have no premonition of death, I am preparing by leaving this letter in the care of my best friend. You must have no regrets, only a deep pride in the knowledge that one of your sons has been granted the honour of dying for his ideals. We must all make sacrifice, and your sacrifice is greater than mine. I give only a life which was first given to me by you. You must never lose sight of the ultimate aim, a decent world for everybody. We are fighting and dying so that the average man will receive a fair deal, no matter what does or where he breathes. Today, Sergeant Leo McCormack is commemorated on the Runnymede Memorial in England, among the 20,000 other members of the Air Force who have no known grave. He was 23 years old. His name is listed on the Roll of Honour on my left. among most 40,000 Australians who died while serving in the Second World War. His photograph is displayed today by the Pool of Reflection. This is but one of the many stories of service and sacrifice told here at the Australian War Memorial. We now remember Sergeant Leo Malachi McCormack, who gave his life for us, for our freedoms, and in the hope of a better world.
Please stand for the reading of the Ode and the sounding of the last post.
They shall grow old. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
Lest we forget.
Lest we forget. We leave you this evening with the words of the memorial's founder, Charles Bean. Many a man lying out there at Pozier or in the low scrub at Gallipoli, with his poor, tired senses barely working through the fever of his brain, has thought in his last moments, well, it's over. But in Australia, they will be proud of this. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the last post ceremony. On behalf of our director, staff and volunteers, thank you for visiting the Australian War Memorial today and for your continued support of the Memorial's development project. We wish you all a very pleasant evening.